Conservatives called out the alliance of Big Gov and Big Tech as President Joe Biden pushes to spy on text messages and may use private corporations to do it. You're watching TechShark, bite-sized news for conservatives surfing the net. It's bad enough that too much public speech online gets labeled misinformation. But now Biden is pushing one step further to monitor our private conversations. Politico revealed that the other day, Biden-allied groups, including the Democratic National Committee, are also planning to engage fact-checkers more aggressively and work with SMS carriers to dispel misinformation about vaccines that is sent over social media and text messages. In short, the government supposedly can't spy on your texts without a warrant, so they'll get private companies to do so, and they claim it's over vaccine misinformation. Senator Josh Hawley responded by raking the Biden administration over the coals for seeming to imitate Chinese Communist Party tactics.
It sounds like something out of Beijing. I mean, we know that the Communist Chinese Party has built this surveillance state, and now it sounds like Joe Biden wants to bring that to the United States of America. I mean, what's going to happen next? Are they going to take away our phones? Are they going to tell Verizon or AT&T or whomever to shut down people's cell service if they text things that the government doesn't like? Here's what worries me, though, Pete, is pressuring the phone companies, pressuring Verizon and AT&T and whomever else to voluntarily, quote unquote, comply and tell the government what we're texting, what we're saying on our private messages. That's the real danger here. It's this big government, big corporation alliance.
Now here's the shark bite. I get that we're supposed to cheer for freedom everywhere and stand up for others. Standing up for Hong Kong or Israel or Cuba, I get it. It feels good to speak up for others. But America, our home, is becoming a 1984 nightmare, and addressing that needs to be priority number one. Tucker had a great rant about this.
I'm glad you mentioned Cuba, because even today, idiot Republicans on the Hill spent their whole day talking about the lack of freedom in Cuba, and it's not a free country, that's true, but increasingly neither are we, and they don't seem to notice what's going on in the country they're supposed to be running, and they're spending all their time focused on this Caribbean nation. It's not central to our interests.
The nature of our tyranny at home is more subtle. It's the marriage of corporate and government power in the name of protecting Americans from themselves. We saw this when Psaki made clear the government is working with Facebook to stop so-called misinfo. Jack Posobiec had a great observation when he tweeted, "Notice how Psaki discusses Facebook as if it's just another government agency." Is there any meaningful distinction anymore? Our country was founded on the idea of checks and balances, but blurring lines between big tech and big government has become a sinister hallmark of the Biden era. I reported earlier this year that the Biden administration is considering using outside firms to track extremist chatter by Americans online. In short, reports indicate the government is considering hiring private companies to do the dirty work of spying on private citizens the government can't do itself legally. The United States Postal Service, same kind of story. Yahoo News explained they have been quietly monitoring social media posts. The surveillance program, known as the Internet Covert Operations Program, ICOP, centers around hired analysts who review social media accounts for inflammatory posts to share across government agencies. The whole premise of invading our privacy over misinfo is ridiculous. The Wuhan lab leak, for example, was misinfo, until it became the most likely explanation for the COVID-19 outbreak. I'd argue the difference between a right-wing conspiracy theory and reality is about 6 months, give or take. In short, we gotta stop fighting in foreign affairs and save ourselves for once. It's good to care about others, sure, but I think of it like those oxygen masks on an airplane. You put on yours first, make sure you're okay, then you can help other people. You've been watching TechShark, and once again, I'm Alexander Hall with MRC-TV and Free Speech America. Have a good week.